Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. And man, oh man, kind of sound like Ron Cleveland there. The Knicks were destroyed. When I say destroyed, I really mean destroyed by the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. It's not like we didn't expect it. We expected it, but you know, it's like when you know a family member or somebody, or let's just say your dog. Let's not say a family member. You know your dog is on the way out. But when it really happens, when it finally happens, you're still like, man, it's still painful. You know what I mean? That's what it was like tonight. We knew what was going to happen. We knew what was going down. Still, no matter what, it is a painful thing to lose the way that we lost tonight. The Knicks were smacked. It was almost like the Milwaukee Bucks came to this game. It was like, you know how when you're in the varsity team and you scrimmage the JV team, you know, when you come in, you're kind of loosey-goosey a little bit. You're going to play hard. You're going to, you know, make them feel good every once in a while. But for the most part, you know you're going to smack them. It's kind of like that with the Bucks, man. They knew what was going to happen. They knew that they were going to smack us. I don't even know if how serious they took the game. I think it was more like a glorified scrimmage for them. Glorified scrimmage. They probably came in and said, hey, we're going to work on everything that we suck at. We're going to work on it tonight. And guess what? Everything that they sucked at probably worked tonight. I don't know what to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I do know what to tell you. We are at the bottom of the barrel. We are the crabs in the bucket. We might be lower than the crabs in the bucket. You know, we are the little amoebas on the bottom of the crab in the bucket. That's where we are right now. We are just terrible. And it's painful. It's a painful thing to say because you want the Knicks to be good so bad. Every single one of us wants the Knicks to be good so bad. But it's just not there. It's just not happening. So let's go ahead and talk about this with the crew that we got here. Let's talk about it with some phone calls. You know, I only got about an hour tonight because I got to get on the road. I got like a 2-hour drive tonight. You know, I got an institute I got to be at tomorrow. So let's go ahead and get this thing rocking, man. It's nothing but Knicks. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. That's the jig. And you see, I got Guillermo in the chat. We got Nate the Great in the chat, in the video chat. You know, here in the YouTube chat, we got a lot of people here. I see Who's Mark, Ralph Petito, Ghost Rider, Travis Fisher. I'm not going to say everybody, but Jerry Figueroa, Jorge Rodriguez. Got a lot of people here. Vaughn Allen, big shout out to everybody that's in the chat. I can't call everybody out, but big shout out to all of you who's in the chat, man. Thank you guys for being here. Professor Ankle Bully. I am drugs only. I don't know about that. Michael Peterson, H_. James Sanchez. Big shout out to everybody. Thank you for being here on a night when the Knicks just got clobbered. I don't even know what words to use. They just got clobbered by the Milwaukee Bucks. Although we all knew it was going to happen. We knew that this team was going to get smacked by the Milwaukee Bucks, and smacked they did. Very interested to hear what David Fizdale has to say about this game. You know, I mean, obviously, the Knicks were outmatched. We know that. You know, these guys have more talent on their bench than some of our starting five, probably. Don't even know what to say or what to do, ladies and gentlemen. But let's get to some of these guys here in the video chat and, you know, get their perspective. And then I'll get your perspective. In a minute, we're going to break down some of the numbers behind this game if you want to. All right, Nate, what's up, man?
Woo.
Yeah, woo.
Well,
Exactly.
well, you know it's a bad night when Giannis's brother and Dragan Bender look better than some of our starters. Um, uh, Sim, you said that you think we've already hit rock bottom. I disagree, man. I think this is rock bottom.
No, 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 no. I
I
didn't
mean,
say. I said I don't think we've hit rock bottom yet.
I think we have hit rock bottom, man.
I
This
don't.
is rock bottom. I don't know how
I
much
don't.
worse you can get after this.
Well, we still got to play the Nuggets. The
Yeah, but
Nuggets
I
are
mean,
very,
being
very,
down by
very
40,
good.
50 points, that's a lot.
I know, but the Nuggets. Look, let's put it like this: the Milwaukee Bucks are now 18-3, top of the Eastern
Mhm.
Conference. The Denver Nuggets are 13-4, second place in the Western Conference. They're very good. Very good. Maybe they're not as good as the Milwaukee Bucks, but they're very good. Then after that, we play the
Do you think
Indiana
we could lose
Pacers.
by more than 40 or 50 again? I mean, shoot.
I mean,
I
I
think
don't
that's
even
as
know if
bad
it's
as it
about.
gets.
I don't even know if it's about losing by 40 or 50 again. I think now it's about how long does the losing streak go, right? We're at 7 games now. Now you're talking about the Nuggets. We got to play the Nuggets. That's probably going to be 8 games lost straight. Then you got to play the Indiana Pacers. That's 9 games probably lost straight. Now the Portland Trailblazers, we got to play the Portland Trailblazers. The Portland Trailblazers, they've won the last 3 games. They got energy now. So then you're talking about 10 straight.
I get it. No,
That's
I,
rock
I
bottom
totally
right
understand
there.
what you're. I totally understand what you're saying. The thing is that here's the reality: Sim. Are the worst in the NBA. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, the Warriors probably a worse record than we." Doesn't matter. The Warriors play a part, man. Watch some of their games, man. They really give it out on all sides. I mean, they got players. I can't even name
Hey,
their
can
starting
you
five.
talk? Can you talk closer to the mic or something? Cause you're a little bit low.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're the worst team in the NBA, Sam. I mean, we can't defend, we can't shoot. I mean, I think we had like 26. I saw the stat line they showed during the game. 26% shooting, 8 assists, and like 5 for something in 3 pointers. It's ridiculous, man. I mean, we give no effort, man, and we just lay flat, like just flat, embarrassing. And I tell you what, man, we're not even halfway through the season, and we're already getting blown out by 40.
We're barely a
I mean,
quarter of the way through the season. We haven't
yeah,
reached
I know.
20.
That's what I'm
Well, we
saying.
have reached 20
That's what
games.
I'm
We're a
saying.
quarter of the way through the season. A quarter of the way. And this is where we are. I don't know, man. Guillermo, I want to know. Are we at rock bottom or do we still have some more to go?
Nah, we not at rock bottom, bro. We are not at rock bottom. And I'm not just talking about the score. I'm talking about the chemistry. I'm talking about rotations. Now, one positive is that Kadeem Allen is back, and he, at the very least, knows how to play as a consummate point guard, right? I'm not saying he's going to save us. I ain't saying nothing like that. But, I think the days of DSJ, I'm over it. I'm done. I'm good. Um, and I mean, I don't know. This team, man, there's no leadership from the front office down, the owner. There's no leaders on the floor. There's no one to galvanize these guys. These guys are playing with their heads cut off. They're playing like how they played last year, man. It shows, man. Guys just playing to play, man. They don't have no pride. Like, it doesn't hurt them to lose. You know what I mean? You see some guys in football, you see some guys even in basketball, when they lose, they're crying because it hurts. It hurts to lose. Like, it pains me. Is like they treat the team like, yo, this is my family. Like, when you score me, it's almost like you slapping my little brother. When you score me, you dunk on me in my home, it's like you stepped on my mom's face. You know what I mean? But these guys, to me, it's like these guys have there's no life to them. These guys are getting checks, and it might be a thing at the NBA. These guys are playing less games, low management, getting bigger checks, so they're getting pampered. But the basketball I came from was, you go hard or go home, man. Like, it don't matter if you think you're better than us. We're gonna go hard at you, regardless if we're gonna lose or not. Like, and these guys aren't playing for that. And Fizdale has to inspire that. The front office has to inspire that. You know what I mean? Fizdale, I'm not saying he should become Tom Thibodeau, but it's time for you to stop being lovey-dovey with these guys. Take the damn handles off, man. And I'm not talking about screaming in their face, but embarrass them. Do something to get these guys going.
Yeah.
Julius Randle, I'm not picking on Julius Randle. I'm just picking names. If Julius Randle's not playing well, if he's not playing defense, sit his butt down. Don't matter how much he gets paid. If they want to fire you because you're not going with the so-called program, leave. It's the Knicks. If you get fired from the Knicks, people are going to look at you like it's a good thing. You already have people clamoring for you and supporting you when they were criticizing you in the media, Gary Payne, all these guys. So if that's the case, go out on your own laurels. Go out on what you believe is right. Sit the guys who are not playing and play the younger guys. And those younger guys, hey, if we lose every game, you can point at the veterans and say, hey, this is your fault. I'm going to go with the young guys and show them more heart, show them more patch intensity. This is trash. This is trash. You're letting guys split the zone. How do you split a 2-3 zone and drive to the basket? How does that happen? Two guys up top. The communication is so piss poor. In the first quarter, these guys are just coming down and just chucking. No rhyme or reason. I'm not saying we were supposed to beat the Bucks. We're not. But to lose by 47, that's how bad it was, Sim. Giannis, like I told you, Giannis, when we played Giannis in the past with Cantor, when we played him with Ron Baker, this guy Giannis was trying to embarrass us at our home, doing like flexing in our face and stuff, and we were a bad team back then. Today it looked like he was like, damn, I can't even celebrate. He's like, it's like when a soccer player goes back to his old team and scores an old team. He don't want to. He just goes like that to the crowd, like he's like, whatever, man. That's how embarrassing this team is, man. And guys like Moutier, I know Moutier's not here, but I feel like we still have the mindset where Moutier, when he tried to get the shirt from Dwayne Wade, and Dwayne Wade's like, nah, bro, you're come on, get out of my face, man. We still have that same aura that's trapped with us, man. Why is that no one on the Knicks wants to play with pride? Like, it doesn't hurt them. I don't see no dirty blows to the lower regions. I don't see no trips. I don't see no Raja Bells. I don't see no hard fouls. It's like, come on, man. Y'all letting guys beat. Y'all letting DiFincenzo. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but it's DiFincenzo. Y'all letting this guy look like he's Larry Bird. What the hell's wrong with this damn effing team, man? Yo, look, I ain't buying nothing else from the Knicks. If I'm getting tickets, they better be free tickets like I got last time. I'm not supporting this team financially until they make a change, man. This is trash. These guys are getting paid to be bums. They're paid bums, each and every one of them, from Frank to Rick, all these guys. I know Frank didn't play. All these guys tonight, that they are bums. I don't want to hear about, oh, I'm taking it back home. What that Porter scrap. I don't care where you from, because where you from don't mean nothing when you playing like trash, bro. All these guys are trash. They're doo-doo. I don't care where they come from. They play with no heart. They play with no passion. I'm staying up. I'm watching these games. I'm wasting my time. I'm investing my time and energy and my money into these guys, and they put no effort on the floor. Nah, I'm not watching this crap, man. This is garbage. It's unacceptable, man. Unacceptable, man. I don't care if it's a Bucks, man. You can lose by 20, whatever, but I don't see no one's fouled. I didn't see nobody hurt. I didn't see no Zaza Pachulia injuries out there, bro. What's wrong with y'all? And then Cheers out there. You want to play so bad. You go out there, you still playing the same ISO. I don't care about come on, man. Only guys I saw gave effort was this boy, Mitchell Robinson and Kadeem. I know Mitchell Robinson, he was sloppy all over the place. He's still young. But he's showing more effort than half y'all guys out there. And some of y'all guys are veterans, man. Come on, man. Get out of this crap, man. This
I
team,
feel you, man. A lot of Knicks fans feel the exact same way. And I'm looking at Mark. Mark loves drama. I'm trying to tell you right now. Mark is a drama king. He loves drama. Any kind of drama, Mark just loves it. So when somebody starts yelling and screaming and hollering, Mark is in all of his glory. I'm looking at him on the screen just smiling and cheesing because there's drama right now. Mark loves drama. He probably sits home and watches soap operas all day or something. You know what I'm saying? He just loves drama. And what's going on, man? I ain't seen you in a minute. What's popping with you, brother?
Man? Yeah, man, I've been depressed with this team, man. I didn't even want to watch tonight, but I think this is a Fizdale problem. I've been defending Fizdale as long as possible, but I'm to the point where I don't think he knows how to fix this. I know a lot of people talk about Mills and Perry and Dolan, but this is not a 4-17 team. The amount of talent we have on the team. I'm not saying we're a juggernaut or we should be a playoff team, but we shouldn't be 4-17 and getting beat by. We deserve to lose by 50 tonight. So,
well, we were down by 47 at one point.
Yeah, and we're putting up no resistance. I mean, we don't even like an NBA team at this point. I mean, it was a stretch in the third quarter. But I think we turned the ball over like 5 times in a row. I mean, just tripping over our own feet. I mean, Fizdale has managed to strip everybody on this team besides Marcus Morris confidence. There's not one player on this team with confidence right now. And it's tough to watch. We should be able to at least compete. And I think Knicks fans weren't asking for much this year. So I think the fact that every Knicks fan is fed up, I think it shows a lot.
Yeah. And this is the thing, Ant, right? Every single player except for Marcus Morris, he's the only one. Every single player that has come to this team from last season, from another team, every single player signing in free agency is playing worse than they were last season.
All of them. Ellington's
except for Marcus Morris.
Season of his career.
Right.
I mean,
right. He came off the best season of his career. Julius Randle came off the best season of his career. Elfrid Payton, while he didn't, I don't know if he had the best season of his career, but he was hurt for a good portion of the season last year. But he put up. I mean, he's not even playing. So,
right.
I mean,
but
Bobby Portis, he was 14-8 last year on a team that is better. The Wizards were better than the Knicks last year. The Wizards last year are probably better than the Knicks this year. He put up 14-8 on that team.
It's almost like every player that comes here, like they inherit our state. Like, I don't know what it is, but like we can bring in Jesus himself and we make Jesus look bad. So like I don't know. I mean, I guess the answer
it's unexplainable, man.
It's like we keep vacuuming and cleaning up the house, but we don't take the trash out. So no matter what you do, the trash is still in the house. So no matter what you do, it's gonna stink. So I think we need only person I really want to keep around is Perry, because I do like Perry, but I think we need like a full week. I mean everything. I mean clean out everything. I don't know. It's not really realistic because Dolan's the owner, but I mean I don't know what else is gonna fix it.
I don't know, man.
I keep like hearing about Majayu from
Jerry. He ain't coming to the Knicks, man.
Nah, but think about it. We build Phil Jackson as the savior. So, I mean, we keep bringing in people that's supposed to be the savior. I mean, I remember when Larry Brown came in and we thought he was going to be the savior. It doesn't work. The
one thing that I say about Phil Jackson is with things coming out into light now, a lot of what Phil Jackson was trying to do was right. He might have had the wrong way of going about it, but a lot of what he was trying to do and his thought process and things were correct from what I see.
He had the right idea.
He had some right ideas.
Correctly. Yeah. I mean,
he let his ego get in the way too. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of what I think he was trying to do was correct, man. And I feel like if we would have let Phil Jackson continue, things might have been different. I don't know. Mark, what's up, man?
I just want to congratulate Carmelo Anthony for winning Western Player Conference of the week. That was good to see.
Hold on, let me stop you right there. Ain't it crazy when the best thing about the Knicks is a player who plays for another team who hasn't played for the Knicks in 2 seasons or 3 seasons, whatever it is? That's the best thing about the Knicks right now, is that Carmelo Anthony is back in the league and playing well. Ain't that crazy? That's the best thing about the Knicks. It's nuts, man.
Listen, man. I wish we got blown out by 80. By 80. Listen. When you overpay for certain players, it just creates a storm. On the floor, I just see a lot of separation on the floor with players. It's like they're in a group with each other. 2 over here, 3 over there. Don't want to play with this guy. Energy's up when this guy's on the floor. It's just, listen, man, I wish we'd have got caught by 80. Because, listen, I'm just waiting. I am just waiting till this. I'm waiting to the beginning, into the middle of this week for something to happen. That's all.
Something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. There's no way that it can't. Something's going to happen.
Listen, when Steve Mills said we had max players, besides the Kevin Durant and Kyrie, the statements he said over the summer, he had max players that wanted to come here. What was you speaking of besides Kyrie and Kevin?
Well, I think that maybe he was speaking of Jimmy Butler. Maybe Jimmy Butler. I'm not gonna say wanted to, but would have if the Knicks would have offered it to him. Guys like that. That's what I think. That's what I think. I don't know. I'm just saying that's what I think.
Sam, when they created this team, I look at it as this. Where was Julius Randle getting $60 million on the market? Where was Portis getting 15? Where was Morris getting 15? Where was Alfred Payton getting?
I don't know. I think Julius Randle would have got $60 million on the market. It's not a bad contract, bro. From what he did in New Orleans. Because I'm telling you right now, I really do think. I'm sorry, Mark, you're gonna disagree with me. I think if he was on another team with another coach and a point guard, you'd see Julius Randle different. I really do. Yeah. I think he'd be a different player, at least on the offensive side. I think he'd be in a team that has a defensive identity, right? When you got a player like that, when you got a player that doesn't play defense, then you got to make sure you got a defensive identity, right? And already have a structure defensively so that you can cover for that guy, you can help that guy, you know what I'm saying? And you can allow that guy to do the other things that they do well. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why you got to have, I don't care if you're supposedly tanking or whatever, that's the reason why you got to have a system and know what you want to do so that when you sign players, you're not just signing off of talent, you're signing knowing that you can put this player in with this group of guys and it's going to work because they can cover for each other's weaknesses. That's what being on a team is all about. Every single player in the NBA has weaknesses, right? So you can argue about one player's weaknesses being worse than another. Every single player has weaknesses. So when you put together a team, so that you have players that can cover for each other's weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? And they can complement each other. You know what I'm saying? You don't just go grasp at talent. I understand. You know, last year they were in talent acquisition mode with just grasping at talent, right? I get it, but you still got to have an idea of what you want to do and where you want to go. You got to have a blueprint. So when you're grasping at that talent, you're trying to put pieces together. I don't know that they had a blueprint or have a blueprint. And so they're just grasping and putting talent and putting players together.
They lied to Knicks fans talking about a plan. Okay, they plucked these dudes off a cherry tree. Think that it was going to work. None of these guys are complementary to each other to mix with young second-year players. It's not going to work. It's not going to, Sam, the first quarter alone, bro. The dude tried to challenge, be honest, like he was he was going to do something. And from that, the energy just went out the building for the Knicks. Just watch the first few minutes of that first quarter. Just watch it. The energy just went away.
Honestly, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Mark. With the Knicks facing the Bucks, it was like a boxer standing in front of Mike Tyson in the front of the ring, watching in the middle of the ring, watching Mike Tyson stare you down. Because once that happened, you go back in the day, once that happened, those boxers stared Mike Tyson down, and Mike Tyson just gave him that look. They were scared, and the fight was over. The Knicks walked into the building. When they walked into warm-ups, they knew. There was no, this took the energy out of the Knicks. The Bucks started off 5-0, 7-2. They didn't come. They knew what the deal was, and they came scared to play.
And listen, you know where that goes to? When you have young players and you have vets, if you don't have that vet to ooze confidence, the young kids is not going to follow. They're just going to do what they do. When you play basketball, I advise you to have that one player. I just watched Giannis tonight, man. If you look on that court, he has a whole bunch of nobody. But they follow him. You don't have a Pacific player on the floor with young players. There's a whole lot of young players on that Bucks team. When you pay a guy, that's why
Giannis is young.
That's why I think the Knicks put Randall in the worst position you could put a player like that. Because number one, he was never a 1 or 2 or 3 guy. For him to come in this city to act like he was the number one option, that's where the front office has failed. Because I watched Giannis, and those young players was just thrashing us because they embodied the guy's attitude.
Oh, I agree with you. I agree. I mean, you got a guy like, yeah, I agree. The only place I will disagree with you is you have to take a chance. Scared money don't make money, right? At some point, you got to take a chance. You got to try to take a calculated chance, especially if you're in a situation that the Knicks were in. And I think that's what they try to do with Julius Randle, right? Hoping, because this is what would have happened. Let's just say, for example, Julius Randle went to another team and he had another career year. He was averaging 25 and 10 rebounds and whatever, right? For whatever reason. You know, we're just speaking hypothetically here. As Knicks fans, you know, we would have looked back and say, dang, how come we didn't try to sign Julius Randle?
All right, so let me ask you a question.
So, but what I'm saying is, yeah, the Knicks took a chance the same way they did with Tim Hardaway Jr. They took a chance on a guy to try to see if maybe he was at the point of his career. But listen, they took a chance to see if maybe he was at the point of his career where he was going to go to another level. When you take a chance, it's either going to win or it's not going to win, right? It's gonna be successful or it's going to fail. But you got to take a chance at some point, especially when you're in a situation the Knicks win, right? And what they try to do is make sure it wasn't too long of a contract.
I thank God for that. And yo, Sim, you know what I'm feeling? December 15th, right? When that date hit, I feel like one of these young players gonna get traded with a vet.
It might.
I feel something because as I'm watching these Knicks games now, I just look at the body language of certain players, when certain players on the floor with certain players, or how hard certain players work, or how when players are missing a defensive flash, who's yelling at each other, who's telling who to be there, that, and that. But let me ask you a question, Sam.
Yeah.
This is my thing. When I watch basketball, right? I'm a person, I don't care about the points you put up. I'd rather a person, it's the same theory that Greg Popovich told Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan go out there and average 28 points. He did it twice in his career. He told Tim Duncan, you know what? Tim Duncan, you only need to average 20 and 10. But you have to be impactful. Randall could put up 20 points, whatever. But the impact level that he has on the floor, it is zero, zelch, not there, nowhere to be found. It's just like an empty 20 points, like you see other players on other teams that just, let's say Devin Booker. When he had 25 points last year, but it was empty 25 points. This year, it elevated. He's showing a level of impact now. But with him, he's showing.
But hold up, but see, everything has to come full circle, right? Yeah. It's a big circle because the reason why Devin Booker, his 25 points have an impact is because they are winning, right? Last year they weren't winning, so the 25 points supposedly didn't have an impact. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you really got to look at it. You really got to look at it on the whole. You got to look at it on the whole, man, because this team is terrible, and it's not just one player that makes them terrible.
Then, if you watch New Orleans last year, I want people to do their homework. Go back and watch Randall and tell me if those 20 and he averaged last year was any impact, and he was playing with a way better team than us. Just show me games where he had good games in New Orleans. He was playing minutes when Anthony Davis was there. Just show me if those.
But you know what's funny though, Mark? You know what's funny? And I'm not gonna dig back because there's too many videos.
Yeah,
right?
too many videos.
But I can get hold on, no. Listen, I can guarantee you though, in earlier streams, You said the opposite about Randall. You talked about his defense. No. Stop. Don't even say nothing. You talked about his defense, that he's not a good defender. But you also talked about how he's a bully in the paint, how he's good at pushing the ball up the floor and playing downhill. You talked a lot of good stuff about him. A lot of good stuff about him from what you've seen in New Orleans. You talked about, I seen him do this. I seen him do that. I watched some tape. I think he does have a chance to be an all-star if this team is good. You did. You said, hold on. No, listen. You did say you don't think he's a number one player. You said you don't think he's a number one player. But a number one player doesn't have to be an all-star. But you said he could possibly be an all-star. You said a lot of positive stuff. Coming from New Orleans. You said a lot of positive stuff about him coming from New Orleans. No. Don't even do it. You said a lot of positive stuff about him coming from New Orleans. Now you're saying to go back and look at those tapes and that he was never this, he was never that, he was never that. You did say that he wasn't a number one player. I agree with you. You said he wasn't a number one player. You did, right? And you talked about his defense. But you said a lot of positive stuff about him. As a matter of fact, you were even positive about the roster. You felt good. You didn't say that they was going to make the playoffs. None of us said that they were going to make the playoffs. None of us did. Well, some people did. Most of us said that they could win about 30 to 35 games. That's what most people were, right? But I just find it funny when I see people do an entire 360 from things that they said earlier. Obviously, if the team's not playing well, you're going to say, da-da-da-da-da. But when you come back and you say, well, at one point you say, the roster could work. And then now all of a sudden you say, this, they did this, they did that. I mean, when you have the same opinion as the front office and then now you want to change it, because I'm going to tell you the truth, right? When I seen the guys that they signed, right, I said, well, you know what? I understand why they signed Bobby Portis, because he can help spread the floor for Julius Randle. I understood it, right? And when people were talking about the 4 different power forwards or whatever, I understood why there were 4 different power forwards, because they played a different type of a role, right? And a lot of people, still, I'm looking in the chat, a lot of people still in the chat, talking about, they signed 5 power forwards. Well, those guys play different roles. So I'm not going to lie. I understood it, and I understood why. My thought process all along was, do we have a point guard that can help put things together? But I understood Bobby Portis because he could spread the floor. He's not just traditional, just power forward that's going to pound it under the basket. That's Taj Gibson. Taj Gibson could play that role. Julius Randle was the type of guy that could pound it down underneath, right? You want to get him running in transition, moving the ball in transition, and not moving the ball in transition, running downhill, right? We're hoping that he's going to be a better beast on the rebounds. We all said that he can... that he needed to work on his defense and make sure his defense is right. And I guarantee you go back and look at videos. Mad people was like, if Julius Randle can get his defense together, he'd have a chance to be an all-star. Now, Mark, I didn't say that you said that he was going to be an all-star. You didn't say he was going to be, but you did say that you think he could have a chance if things went right. If things went right, and these are words that you said, if things went right, that he could have a chance. I have a whole video with Tony Chrome Guillermo saying that they believe he could take it to the next level. There's a whole video. You can go check that. And I'm not spotlighting you, Guillermo, or Tony. I'm not spotlighting you. I'm just saying people believed that it could happen. People believed in this roster. Now I see all these people coming out and saying, well, the roster was terrible and the roster construction this, the roster construction that. Honestly, I think the main thing missing from the roster construction, 2 things, is a leading point guard that can really be your leader and a coach that can put everything together. That's what I think is missing. You know what I'm saying? But there's so many people that talked about how these power forwards, including myself, and I still believe that these power forwards, if put together right, could fit together. Bobby Portis, again, spreads the floor. Mitchell Robinson doesn't. He runs to the rim. You put Mitchell Robinson and Bobby Portis on the floor at the same time, what they do complements each other. Taj Gibson, he's a defender down low. He can defend in limited minutes. He can also spread the floor a little bit by shooting mid-range. Julius Randle, he's a beast down low if you get him in the right position, if he's not running into triple teams. Those two guys can complement each other. Bobby Portis and Randle can complement each other because Bobby Portis is supposed to be able to spread the floor. He's not shooting like that. Although last season he was shooting not 39% from the three-point line. Shooting 39% from the three-point line. All of a sudden this year he's not. All right, Marcus Morris can go from the 3 to the 4. He obviously can spread the floor. He's shooting 51% from the three-point line. Right? So the idea, and this is my opinions, but the ideas behind it made sense to me. And it made sense to a lot of other people. Now that it's gone bad, people don't want to own up to what they said once made sense. I'm going to own up to mine. I thought it made sense. I don't think that the roster is so ill-constructed like people say. I don't. I think you have people that can do some things, but you got to put them in the right positions, and you got to use them correctly. I don't think it's a coincidence that every single player coming off last season, except for Marcus Morris, is having a worse season this year. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think there's some real reasons behind that. Some real reasons behind it. I mean, Julius Randle's averaging 17 points a game on 45% shooting. Last season, he averaged 21, 22 points a game on over 50% shooting. He shot the best he ever shot from the three-point line last year. Bobby Portis, he shot 39% from the three-point line last year. He averaged 14 points and 8 rebounds. Now, I know different teams are going to have a different construction and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But he's playing significantly worse this season than he did last year. Significantly worse. You know, how is it? Bobby Portis this season, 8.9 points per game, 40%. Okay, still shooting 38.6% from 3. Good. I'm glad. But how is it that all these players took a step back? Why is it? What is the common denominator? All these players taking a step back. Dennis Smith Jr. is taking a serious step back. Wayne Ellington coming off the best season of his career. The best season of his career. He's taking a serious step back. Now, I'm not going to front. I'm not a fan of the way Wayne Ellington plays. Right? I had a different idea coming into the season. Now I look at him and I'm like, get this guy off the court. But how is it that he can have one of the best seasons of his career on a team that was better than the Knicks, and then he comes to the Knicks, a team that is worse than the team he came from, and up until this point is having one of the worst seasons of his career? How does that work? Why does that work that way? Somebody explain it to me. Explain that to me, please. I really want to know. Now, I'm not saying that the players don't take any responsibility. But anybody who wants to absolve coaching, come on. Come on, man. That's crazy. Last year, Wayne Ellington played 24.5 minutes per game. All right, he averaged 10.3 points per game. He shot 40% from the field. He shot 37% from 3. That was Wayne Ellington last year. This season with the Knicks, he's averaging 14.5 minutes per game. He's shooting 32.1% from the field, 30.9% from 3. Why is that? Why is that? And let's look at this from Wayne Ellington. This is the worst year of his career shooting the 3, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me why that is. Somebody please explain it to me. Last season, he was 37%. Right? When he played in Miami, he shot 39%. Or he shot 37%, 39%, 38%. Right? When he was in Brooklyn, he shot 35, 36%. And with the Lakers, he shot 37%. With Dallas, he shot 42.4%. With Cleveland, he shot 37%. With Memphis, he shot 42%. This is going all the way back. The lowest he's ever shot before this season is 32.4%. That was with Minnesota. So why is he shooting the worst this season? And I'm not defending Wayne Ellington. I just had the stats up, so I'm looking at it. Why? There is a come on. Every single player that the Knicks signed is playing worse than they did in previous years. Taj Gibson is a little bit different, right? Last season, Taj Gibson was averaging 24 minutes a game. This year, he's averaging 16.3 minutes per game. All right? Taj Gibson is about on par. Shooting 51.6% from the field this year. Shooting 25% from three. Last year, he shot 32.4%, but, that's not what he does. Okay? Taj Gibson is about on par, given the minutes that he plays. Oh, let me get you a phone call, man. Then I'll come to Isaiah. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping? Maybe you can explain it to me, my man. Explain it to me. Why is it that we have so many players that we signed playing worse this season than they did in the previous season and seasons previous to that?
Because if you look at it, it's an easy question. It's point guard play. Specifically, we don't have a dominant scoring point guard. That guy was supposed to be Dennis Smith. I mean, when you were in Miami, there was Tyler Johnson and Josh Richardson. Those two guys are better than every guard we have better than every point guard we have on the team. Either one of them. I mean, Dennis Smith Jr.'s regressed, so we don't have anybody drawing any offense so Wayne Ellington gets open. Same thing with Bobby Portis. He played with Bradley Beal last year. You've got to guard Bradley Beal. He'll kill you. And that gives you open shots. So, of course, it's 3-point. And same thing with Randall. He had, what's his name? The two guard down there. Holiday. Drew Holiday. He's an all-star last year. You had to guard him, and that leaves open shots. The Knicks don't have anybody who you're confident is going to give you 10, 15 points a night, who can stroke an open shot. I mean, Frank's great defensively, but we've lost a lot of games. We've lost at least 2 games because Frank got an open shot with the last 5 minutes and missed it. I mean, we don't have an offense. Anybody in that? I mean, RJ, he's a rookie. We can't lay this on him. He's a rookie. We can't expect him to go in and be the best offensive wingman on the team. I mean, we don't have any offensive wings. So every team loads up. Like when Wayne Ellington gets in the game, they put their best defender on him because nobody else can shoot. So Wayne Ellington's not getting clean shots like he would if Dennis Smith Jr. was going out and giving us 15 points a game. I mean, you can't Fizz, and yeah, does he make a lot of bad decisions? Like tonight when you've got one point guard, you call up Kadeem Allen, you know who he is. He played well for us last year. And you don't play that man till 3 minutes left in the third quarter. You had RJ in there running the point. You had Freer doing whatever he was doing tonight. I don't know what happened to him. They killed his confidence. But you had Kadeem Allen sitting on the bench. You know he's a quality backup point guard. Why isn't he in there when Dennis Smith starts floundering? Why doesn't he get into the third quarter? He's a solid point guard. That's what you're.
You there? Did I lose you? Think I lost him. Let's get to another phone call. Well, before I get to the phone calls, big shout out to everyone who gave me a super chat. Ghost Rider, thank you for the super chat. You said Knicks are under the crabs in a bucket. Yeah, I agree with you. We are that's definitely true. Krillin 876, thank you for the super chat. You said couldn't even get Tobias Harris and he's from here. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the Knicks wanted Tobias Harris at a max contract, but I get what you're saying. Trust me, I get what you're saying. Mighty Nick said even Tim Hardaway Jr. is playing better. You know what? I'm going to go check Tim Hardaway Jr.'s. Haven't really looked at his stats, but I'm going to go check out his stats and see exactly what Tim Hardaway Jr. is doing this season. I don't doubt you, though. I don't doubt you. And Herbert Barahona, you said that's Steve Mills' record as a Knick. 164 and 337, 164, 337. That's Steve Mills' record as a Knick. Well, you know, for the time that he's been here, he hasn't been good at all. The Knicks haven't been good at all. I don't know, man. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'? Hey, yo, my man, you there? All right. Looks like I'm losing people. I don't know. Let me see. Let me check one more time. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'?
Yo, what's goody? What's goody, yo? It's Kwame
What's
calling,
good?
yo.
What's good,
Kwame
man?
from
What's
Toronto.
good?
What's goody?
I'm good, man. Maybe you could tell me, man. Why is it that why is it that so many of our players that we signed are doing worse this season than in previous seasons?
Bro, like I said before, we spoke in the summertime. You recall that, right? When we spoke about, you asked me about how R.J. Barrett and everything about R.J. Barrett in Toronto. And we spoke about Dennis Smith Jr., and I told you how Dennis Smith Jr. is Steve Francis 2.0, right? Remember that? I told you. Remember that, right? Well, basically, I got to see you guys last week. You guys actually played us last week, if you recall, right?
Uh-huh.
So we did play each other, and I saw your team. The problem with the New York Knicks is this. The New York Knicks they have a lot of pieces. They have a lot of players, but they don't have chemistry. They don't know who the point guard is. They have Alonzo Tier. They have Dennis Smith Jr. They have Frank Nakia. They need to figure out who's the designated point guard and who they're going to run for the whole entire season. You see us. We have two designated guys. We know who our top guy is, who's Kyle Lowry, and then we know our second guy, Fred VanVleet. Kyle Lowry's injured. VanVleet knows that, this is my role. This is what I got to do. We're not looking for no other third-string guy or fourth-string guy. New York Knicks also have too many players. They got guys like I seen what's his name, Reggie Bullock on that team. They have Bobby Portis on that team. They have Alfred Payton on that team. I saw Taj Gibson on that team. I saw who else? I saw Julius Randle on that team. Kevin Knox. They got too many guys on there. They don't know their role. They don't know what they're supposed to be doing on the court. They don't have the chemistry, so basically they're easy to be exploited. That's why they're last right now in the NBA. You see what I'm saying? In the Eastern Conference. The problem with the Knicks is this. They have the wrong guy coaching the team. I don't know what – you guys have Mark Jackson out there. Mark Jackson was instrumental. Everybody knows that in Toronto. He was instrumental in the success of the Golden State Warriors. So basically, he'd be the right guy to teach you guys how to play defense and how to play two-way basketball. You see what I'm saying? He'd be great for the point guards, and he would be great for the players on the team because he does have success in the NBA. The biggest issue with the Knicks, like I said before, is the chemistry. They need to figure out who's who, what role, who plays what roles. Similar with the Raptors, everybody knows their roles. That's basically what they got to do.
I feel you. I mean, you're right. I mean, you're right with a lot of stuff. I think as Knicks fans, we understand this. You know what I mean? And it's up to Fizdale to make it happen, and he's not doing that right now. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for the call, my man. Let me get to another phone call. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'?
How you doing, my man? Everything's good?
I'm good, man. How you feeling?
Depressed. I just think I'm gonna go to tanking mode. Obviously, looking so far, we're not playing the way that we're supposed to be. Every time I turn on TV, I always expect us to lose, and I don't know, man. I feel like it's the right time to go to tanking mode. Hopefully, the basketball gods give us lottery pick, hopefully the first. And we need to fire everyone. We need to get rid of all the head coaches, fire general manager, president of basketball operation, and try to start clean, have a clean slate. It's just very disappointing the season that we're having. I thought we were going to have a better season, try to bounce back since we had the worst record, but obviously we haven't. I don't think we're going to get more than 17 wins. I don't think we're even going to get 17 wins. Probably going to be even less, but I just want to know your overall perspective. What do you think? Like, do you think there's still hope, or?
Nah, man, I don't think there's any hope. I don't think there's any hope. I think at this point, after tonight's loss, the Knicks are going to be, listen, they're 4-17. right? We're looking at the possibility and probably going to be 4-20. You're not coming back from that. I mean, you can point to Fizdale can point to the Miami Heat a few years ago all he wants, or whenever it was. The Knicks aren't coming back from that. At least, see that Miami Heat team, here's what it is. It kind of pisses me off, the fact that he pointed to that Miami Heat team and said, they did it, blah, blah, blah. Because the reason why they could do it is because they have a culture there. No matter if they're a good team or a bad team, they already have a culture in place. You know what I'm saying? A culture of hard work, a culture of hustle, a culture of defense, right? And that's how they go out and win games. They have something that they can rely on and buy into, right? Something that when you go there as a player and they sit down and give you a handbook and they say, here you go. This is what we're about. And if you do not epitomize this, if you do not buy into this, I don't even want to say buy into it. If you don't represent this, then we don't want you here. This is what we do, right? So when you have a culture, you can do things like that, right? When you have some standards, you can do things like that. When you know how you want to play, you can do things like that, because then everybody fits into their roles, and you can have that type of success. It's not happening with this team. This season is done.
Exactly. So let me ask you a real quick question. So if you were in Dolan right now, what would you do?
I don't know. I don't know, like, I guess if you want this team to try to do something, make some moves by the trade deadline, you could, fire Steve Mills, Scott Perry, and try to bring somebody in. But who are you bringing in the middle of the season as a general manager that's really going to be successful? Probably nobody. You know what I would do? If I was Steve Mills, if I was James Dolan, I'd say, okay, you know what? I'm giving you guys to the end of the season to get to show me something. Don't make any moves at the trade deadline. Don't do anything. Or if you do anything at the trade deadline, it better not be anything that impacts us going past 2020, going past the summer of 2019. So if you trade somebody whose contract expires in 2019, you better bring back a player whose contract expires in the summer of 2019. Right? That's what I would do. I would give them.
Like it's unfair for
but so
to take all the blame, obviously, and his cancer defended him. He said he's a great, owner, and I feel like he's been doing a hell of a good job. I feel like he's been very merciful, and he's given a lot of opportunity, but enough is enough. We gotta go. Like I said, hopefully, by the grace of God, we get that first overall pick. Start with the point guard, get LaMelo, or get Cole Anthony. Hopefully LaMelo Ball, because man, that point guard position is just horrendous, terrible. Not even fun to look at. So I appreciate it, my man. Thank you.
Appreciate it, my man.
For your support. Keep rocking. Love your content.
Thank you. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in. But getting back to what I was saying, what I would do if I was James Dolan, I'd give Scott Perry and Steve Mills to the end of the season, Coach Fizdale to the end of the season. Seriously. And I'd say, listen, you guys got to the end of the season. I'm going to sit back. I ain't saying anything. I'm just going to sit back and watch. You do what you do. The only thing I'm telling you is do not make any moves that hamstring us past the trade, that hamstring us past this summer. Because if I'm going to let you guys go and bring in another GM, I don't want them to have anything else that goes past this summer. And I want to give them the summer to make moves. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what I would do. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what I would do. He's got to do, I don't know. Something has to be done. The only problem is then, you go back to the whole thing of inconsistency, not having stable management, and all of that. You know what I mean? At some point, you've got to develop some stability, and obviously firing Coach Fizdale, Scott Perry, Steve Mills, you're not developing any stability. But if they're not doing the job, they're not doing the job. So it's tough, man. It's tough. It's tough. It's really tough. I want to take a listen. Got a little, maybe a minute interview with Steve Mills. I want to hear what Steve Mills has to say. I mean, I'm sorry, not Steve Mills. David Fizdale. What David Fizdale has to say about tonight's game. And him being disappointed in the lack of confidence the team had coming into this game. And let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. This is Coach David Fizdale.
Was there a lack of tenacity defensively?
Whatever word you want to use for it, Byron. This is lack of tenacity, intensity, focus, competitiveness. Like I said, I don't feel like we came into this game believing that we can win this game, and that's what was the most disappointing. I felt like going into every other game, we felt like we can come out and compete and beat anybody, but tonight we didn't come out with the idea that we can beat this team.
You played some other top teams recently and talked about playing them well. Is there any reason why you'd see that not believe?
I don't know why, but it was definitely there. We didn't come out with the right mindset for whatever reason, whatever my motivational talk didn't take hold, I guess, but we'll bounce back. We'll get into the film. We'll own it. We'll watch it, and we'll get ready for another very good basketball team.
Yeah, he's definitely right there. The Knicks did not come into this game with any kind of confidence that they could win. And you're defeated right there. That's what I was saying, what I was explaining to Mark. When boxers used to step into the ring with Mike Tyson, they were afraid the minute they stepped into the ring. The minute they had to stare down across the ring, they were scared. And they lost the match right there. That's the way that the Knicks came into this game. They lost the match probably before warm-ups. I don't know, man. Don't know what to tell you, but this is bad. This is bad. And this is one of I don't know if I want to say it's the worst, but it might be the worst that I've seen the Knicks in years, man. In years. It's rough to deal with. Isaiah, coming to you, bro. It looks like he's getting scolded by his mom or something, so maybe I'm not coming to Isaiah. Isaiah, you ready, man? Isaiah, what's going on, man? You getting scolded by your parents or what?
Nah. I tell you what, though, Sim. You know what made my night tonight?
What made your night?
I went to go see Queen and Slim, and let me tell you, that was an amazing movie, Sim.
Okay. Do me a favor. Make sure you're looking at the camera, speaking to the camera, man, because like you're looking away.
Yeah.
People want to see you.
Yeah, I went to go watch Queen and Slim, so that was an amazing movie. So
okay,
I had a good
That's
time.
Good. I plan on
seeing
that too. So
you're gonna like it. It's I'm not gonna really tell you much, but it's a really good movie. I enjoyed it personally.
Okay, good, nice. That's what's up. So you didn't have to see the slaughterhouse then.
No, I was looking when I was at the movies. I was looking at the score, and I'm just like, I'm tired. I can't do it. I'm trying to enjoy the movie. I can't do it.
That's what you do.
I mean,
that was smart.
I mean, Sim, you're talking about. I don't even know what to say, Sim. Like 40 was it 40 points? I believe 132 to 89.
We were down by 47 points at one point.
I mean, Sim, I said it last night. I'm so tired. But Sim, I'm just so tired. I can't get over this dude, man. This dude is just unbelievable. Like, he finally played Zoe. I mean, okay, like it's weird, Sim, for like what he does to reward. Like you said the other night, it was like yesterday. The way he rewards players, the way he picks players to play win is just. It's so baffling that I don't get it. You know, this is the same dude, Sim. The same dude, first game of the year, starts no point guards when he had 3 point guards that could play.
I knew we was going to lose the game when he did that. When you start Alonzo Trier, who didn't he didn't even play preseason, and you start him. I mean, it's just those type of things, Tim, is just so confusing to me with this guy. This guy doesn't play Zoe for like 18,000 games straight. Now he plays him. I mean,
well, let me ask you. Like the caller just asked me, if you're James Dolan, what is your next steps right now? What do you do?
Well,
and I know people want James Dolan to stay out of it, but how can you stay out of it? You can't stay out of it if you're the owner and this is happening. You've got to do something.
Well, here's my thing,
because you're the only one. You're the only one. The owner is the only one that can discipline Steve Mills. Nobody else can.
Well, what do you do? I was thinking about this today, though, right, Sam? This is what I'm thinking about. And this is what's going to happen. I feel like this is going to happen because I've been reading the articles about Masai Ujiri. What's going to happen, I want people to understand this. Steve Mills is not going nowhere. People got to get that plain. What's going to happen with Steve Mills and what's always happened with Steve Mills is that they're going to take him to they're going to move him to a different department.
Okay, so all right, so but what would you do if you're James Dolan? What are you doing?
If I'm James Dolan, I'm moving Steve, and I'm being realistic of who James Dolan is.
Yeah, go ahead.
I am moving Steve Mills to a different department. Maybe he could go back to the business side, which he used to do. I am hiring Usai Ujiri as president. Give him whatever he wants. I want people to know if Phil Jackson got $60 million, you're going to be looking around that for Masai Ujiri. I want people to know that. Give Masai Ujiri 65 or whatever it is. Make sure Scott Perry. I like Scott Perry as the general manager, and fire David Fizdale at the end of the year. David Fizdale does not know how to run X and O's. He's not that kind of coach. What I would do, I would most likely try, as far as a head coach, I would kind of prefer David Blatt. But I've been hearing things. I mean, I've been talking to Andy. Andy's been telling me things about David Blatt, why that wouldn't work out. But I would hire David Blatt, and then I would personally make Tom Thibodeau the highest paid assistant coach in the NBA and make him an assistant coach so that he can teach the defense, even though
the one place where I disagree with you with, if you're gonna hire a new head coach, you don't hire the assistant coach for them. You let them hire their own staff. You can't. You may make some suggestions and say, hey, we wouldn't mind, what do you think about this guy, that guy? But you got to let the coaches hire their own staff. Because the assistant coaches have to speak the language of the head coach. The assistant coaches have to, they're the ones that got to teach the vision, right? The assistant coaches do a lot of the teaching. They have to teach the vision of the head coach. They got to teach it to the players. So if I'm a head coach, I want people that I know are going to speak my vision. You know what I'm saying? So you got to let the head coach bring on the assistants. Got to. You got to. I don't think Ujiri is coming to the Knicks. You know what I mean? Not that he couldn't. He could probably do a good job. Right? He's the best general manager in the NBA. I don't think he's coming to the Knicks. I do not think he wants to deal with the Knicks.
I heard that James Dolan been whining for a very long time.
And he had the chance. He had the chance one time. He had the chance to get him. And he didn't want to give up a draft pick to get him. I don't know. I think it was a first-round draft pick. He didn't want to give up a first-round draft pick to get him, but he had the chance. He didn't want to give up a first-round draft pick. Yeah,
I can't blame him for that, though.
Yeah, I guess you can't argue too much, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm just saying, you know what it is, though, Sam? I think we're just all frustrated at the fact that this team wasn't supposed to be this. And Sam, you know what? I want to go back to something you said earlier. I could honestly wholeheartedly say when the Knicks signed Julius Randle, I wasn't mad because I was like, wow, this guy had 21. He was averaging 21-9 in the West. I was imagining what he was going to do in the East.
Yeah, a lot of people were.
He had a real shot. I mean, look, as far as power forwards in the East, who do you have real competition? It's Giannis and Blake Griffin. Literally, that's it. And now Spicy P. But other than that, Julius Randle had a real clear shot to be an All-Star this year. He did, and people that are going to talk about it, don't deny him that. We all thought he had a shot to be an All-Star this year. And then you know what, Sam? I even remember saying on the chat, there was two things I was not worried about the Knicks coming into the season. I wasn't worrying about rebounding because I was like, we got all these big guys. We should be literally top 5 in rebounding.
Should have been.
We should have been top 5 in rebounding. I wasn't even worried about us ever losing the rebounding battle any given game. I was not worried about that. And I was not worried about us putting the ball through the hoop. What I should have worried about, which I did worry about, which me, you, and Guillermo, I always go back to what me, you, and Guillermo said around this time, like a year or two ago, that we needed a system. That's what I should have worried about, was that because we have the guys to put the ball through the hoop. I don't care what nobody says. We have the guys to put the ball through the hoop. We just needed a system to make the shots easy. Like, Sim, it's so sad that we barely have breakaway dunks. We barely have alley-oops. We barely have fast break points. That shows you the signs of a bad team. That shows you something that doesn't have a system. It doesn't run. It doesn't play defense. And we have to struggle so hard to get easy baskets or to do easy things. We have pick and roll players and we don't run the pick and roll. That is insane to me. How we have pick and roll players that don't run the pick and roll. Yo, I don't know if Guillermo said it. When we faced the Celtics, why didn't we play the pick and roll against Enes Kanter?
I don't know.
Sim, how many times with David Fizdale, when we had Enes Kanter, teams were killing us on the pick and roll with Kanter. And then if we face Enes Kanter and we don't exploit him, that's a bad team, Sam. That is a terrible team.
Well, that's bad. That's bad coaching. That's bad coaching.
Yeah, that's bad coaching.
If there's a strategy, but I'm gonna also say this, and I caught flack all the time for things I would say about Enes Kanter, right? But the Celtics are a better defensive team, and just because you run screen and roll against Enes Kanter doesn't mean that you're automatically going to be successful because, hey, it's Enes Kanter. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that. They do a much better job playing help defense. Right? They do a much better job having each other's back. They do a much better job fighting over screens. And see, with the Knicks, one of the reasons why he was so terrible is because there wasn't the guy, while he would go up to help somebody else out, while his guy was rolling, the backside defenders were supposed to help out to make sure that the roll man didn't get the ball until Enes Kanter recovers. Right? I'm not saying that Kanter was a great defender. I'm just saying we didn't have that Knicks. We didn't have that team defense to help him out either. The Celtics, they have it. So just because you say, well, we should have ran the pick and roll because we had Enes Kanter out there, doesn't mean it was going to be successful. It doesn't. It doesn't mean it was going to be successful. Big shout out to Mighty Knicks. He said, fire whoever hired Fizdale over Coach Bud. Well, Coach Bud may not have wanted to come to the Knicks.
Hey, Sim, can I say one thing, Sim? Can I say one more thing?
Go ahead.
So, you know what's crazy? I was listening to the, I know what's his name, Jonathan Macri, when he does the podcast.
Yeah, J Mac. I know J Mac.
Yeah, he said something so interesting, Sim, and I really thought about this. And I will give the Knicks this, right? When it comes to head coaching, they actually are very good at picking coaches. Because if you think about it, right, the Knicks, who did the Knicks originally want? Steve Kerr. That didn't happen. They had to pick Derek Fisher. The Knicks wanted Budenholzer. And that didn't work. I mean, I can't blame him because he picked Giannis over the Knicks. I can't blame him. And we ended up with David Fizdale. So the Knicks, I'll give them this. The Knicks, when they want a first option coach, they know how they pick good coaches.
Yeah,
it's just when it comes to plan
they
Bs,
do.
when it comes to plan Bs, they're not good at the plan B.
But also, I mean, Steve Kerr could have came and with the roster that we had, they could have been just as bad. I mean, you look at the roster they have now, he's not doing any miracles out there. Of course, they have a terrible roster, but he's not doing any miracles. He can't.
Well,
Coach Bud has a super team, has a really good team. So, I mean, I'm not saying, and maybe he would have been able to work this roster. Coach Bud, Steve Kerr, maybe they would have been able to make this roster work together a little bit better. Who knows? But I don't know, man. Yeah. I don't know. But it's bad, man. The Knicks tonight got down by as many as 47 points, ladies and gentlemen. 47 points. They got smacked by the Milwaukee Bucks. And I don't even know if you want to look at the numbers behind everything that happened tonight, because it was, it was crazy. It was so bad, I barely even paid attention to the game, to tell you the truth. I kind of just did other things. Because it was just terrible. Terrible to watch. But anyway, the Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, they got down by 47 points. They shot 30.8% from the field, 25.6% from three, 66.7% from the free throw line. They were 22 of 33. They had 41 rebounds, only 41 rebounds. 13 assists, only 13 assists. They had 4 steals, 7 blocks. They only had 9 turnovers, but, whatever. The Bucks had 58 rebounds, 30 assists, 6 steals, 4 blocks. They had 13 turnovers. The Bucks shot 55.8% from the field, 45.7% from three. There was 62.5% from the free throw line. I'm telling you, if you go back and you look at my pregame, I was scared of the Bucks. I had a feeling that this could happen. I really did. Looking at the box score tonight, the Knicks, Kevin Knox, he played 23 minutes. He only had 5 points, 3 rebounds. Julius Randle played 25 minutes. He had 19 points. He only shot 41.7% from the field. He only had 5 rebounds, 1 assist. He also had 3 turnovers. Taj Gibson played 20 minutes. He had 7 points, 9 rebounds. R.J. Barrett played 19 minutes. He had 2 points, 1 assist. Dennis Smith Jr. played 25 minutes. He had 4 points, 3 assists. Wayne Ellington played 8 minutes. He didn't do anything. Damian Dotson played 28 minutes. He had 15 points. Mitchell Robinson had 4 points and 14 rebounds. Bobby Portis played 19 minutes. He had 7 points, 5 rebounds. Alonzo Trier played 11 minutes. He had 10 points. Iggy, he played 18 minutes. He had 6 points and 3 rebounds. Kadeem Allen played 15 minutes. He had 9 points and 2 assists. Now let's look at the beating that Milwaukee put on us. Chris Middleton, he played 17 minutes. He actually started. He hadn't, this is, I think, his first game starting since he's been back. He had 16 points, 7 for 10 from the field, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he had 29 points. He only played 21 minutes. 29 points in 21 minutes. 10 for 14 from the field, 3 for 4 from the three-point line. Came into the game shooting 28%. Shot 75% tonight. 15 rebounds, 3 assists. Robin Lopez played 22 minutes. He had 4 points, 3 rebounds. Wesley Matthews had 6 points, 1 rebound. Eric Bledsoe, he had 6 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. DiVincenzo, he had 11 points, 2 rebounds, 2 for 5 from the three-point line. Ilyasova had 3 points, 7 rebounds. Pat Connaughton, he had 5.7 rebounds. George Hill, he had 14 points, 4 assists. DJ Wilson had 19 points. Kyle Korver played 20 minutes. He had 6 points. Their entire roster got a chance to play, and their entire roster scored. Dragon Bender had 3 points. Thanasis Antetokounmpo had 10 points, 3 rebounds. Giannis's little brother. Their entire roster played and played well. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure where we go from here, what we do. 2 questions, man. Have we reached rock bottom? And what do you do if you're Coach David Fizdale? That's what I mean, I'm sorry. If you are the big man, if the big man, James Dolan. I'm going to find this out, and then I'm getting out of here, ladies and gentlemen, because I got a 2-hour trip. I got to get on the road. All right? Nate, I'm going to come to you real quick. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. I want you to answer these 3 questions. Have we hit rock bottom? What do you do if you're James Dolan? And what's our chances? I think our next game is against the Nuggets, right? What's our chances against the Nuggets? Go for it, bro.
Okay. Yes, we have hit rock bottom. If I'm Dolan, I give Fizdale and Perry the end of the season to get, and the only way I keep Fizdale for next year is if we make the playoffs, which that ain't gonna happen. He would have to change it around that much in order to get us into the playoffs for him to keep his job. And then after that, I would get Tom Thibodeau on the phone and see what his interest would be with the Knicks. And also, too, I'd keep an eye on Frank Vogel with the Lakers because everybody knows that J Kidd's on the staff, and I think they want J Kidd to be the head coach. So Vogel might be a guy that might be dead man walking. So even if as good as the Lakers is, so I would definitely keep an eye on him because I would love to have Frank Vogel if the Lakers was for some reason to let him go and make J Kidd the head coach. And then as far as Denver, hell no, we have no chance.
All right. You heard it. You heard it here first. You heard it there first. Mark, I'm coming to you, man. Coming to you. 3 questions for you, my man. 3 questions. We're going to make them quick because I got to get on the road. 1, have the Knicks hit rock bottom? 2, what do you do if you're James Dolan? And 3, what's going to happen versus the Nuggets?
Listen, man, I'm going to just answer 013. Just know that an atomic bomb is going to be hard. I'm going to be here to glorify it all. I'm just waiting. Atomic bomb's going to hit us hard. It's going to hit us hard. It's
Okay.
going to hit us hard.
Okay, so what are you doing if you're James Dolan? Put yourself in James Dolan's shoes. What are you doing, man?
I'm a businessman. Watching James Dolan, he was lied to in the beginning of the season because your general manager and president lied to him. So with him now, I think he's upset because he don't like what he sees. And plus, the Garden, he don't like when people get up and leave in the Garden. He don't like that. He don't like that. He likes it. And listen, that rumor with Majiri, I don't think Majiri's coming because he's doing that for the Raptors to pay him. I don't think Majiri happening. Dolan like Majiri. But I don't think Majori's coming to them. No way. I think Toronto's going to give him the $20 million per year that he's looking for. It's just ways to make sure Raptors give him his money. But I just feel like an atomic bomb is going to happen in so many ways. Just prepare yourselves. I'm going to come on here and just start cheesing and laughing.
I already know. I already know. If something happens, I already know how you coming on.
Oh, yeah. I'm coming hot. Because the past is going to rear its head, as usual. Because history always repeats itself.
And it sure does.
But, good night, Sim.
All right, man. I'll be probably tomorrow night. I'll be doing a little pregame game preview or something like that. So I'll catch you tomorrow night.
All right, Brody.
All right, man. Peace.
LOX.
Let me see who we got here. Ant G. 3 questions, Ant. 3 questions, Ant. I'm sure you heard the 3 questions, but I ask it again. Have we hit rock bottom? What are you doing if you're James Dolan? Nuggets. What happens with the Nuggets?
I think we've hit rock bottom. It can't get worse than this. I mean, the only thing that's worse, I guess, is if we start seeing some dysfunction. Because, I mean, even though we've been bad, there hasn't really been any, I mean, besides the press conference, if you want to call that dysfunction. But there hasn't really been any, nothing off the court that has been bad. that's the only thing that can make this worse. There's something off the court happens. But when we talking about on the court, I don't see how this gets worse. I mean, I guess maybe somebody getting injured like a RJ or something can make it worse. But if we just talking about performance on the court, I don't see how. I mean, this is pretty bad.
Okay. So what do you do if you're James Dolan? What are you doing?
If I'm James Dolan, Mills got to go. I actually let Fizdale finish the season out because I don't see the benefit of firing him in season unless we're gonna hire a new coach as well in season. So I at this point at 4-17, I let Fizdale finish the season out. At the trade deadline, all of these vets are on the table, including Julius Randle. See what teams who are willing to give up. I think Ellington, Morris, Portis, I think they all have to go.
All right.
I think we need as many draft picks as possible. And then, I mean, just play the young guys. Let Iggy play. I want to see Peters from the G League, that point guard. Let him come up and get some run. I mean, what do we have to lose? What's the point of playing the vets if we're gonna be the worst team? So.
And then what about the Nuggets? Real quick, what's happening with the Nuggets?
We'll come out with some fake intensity, some fake heart. Play well for like the first quarter or two, and then we end up losing by like 15 to 20. I think.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Guillermo, you're the last one, man. I'm coming to you. Same 3 questions. All right. Same 3 questions, man. Then I'm out of here.
First and foremost, we're getting destroyed by the Nuggets. I feel what Ann was trying to say, but we are getting smidacked by the Nuggets, man. We don't have no intensity. Like we might play one quarter that's good, and then we gonna get destroyed. Any other questions? You asked, what would I do if I was James Dolan? What was the other question?
What do you do if we're James Dolan, and have we hit rock bottom?
Have we hit rock bottom? Maybe. No, because I think I still got to see RJ and Randall throw hands. So once that happens, then we're gonna see. Then that's gonna be true rock bottom. But if I was Dolan, I think there's a lot of discord between the GM and the coach and Mills. And one, I got to get rid of Mills. I got to allow a team to properly run. From the GM, there has to be a proper hierarchy. And Mills, I can't have him as my, the little finger. I can have him if he's going to be a guy who's going to help me snitch on guys and give me information, but he has a powerless role. But the guy has power. He signed Tim Hardaway Jr. to a terrible contract. He should not be allowed any more executive positions. I don't care how many times he's held you down in front of, maybe he helped you, cheating your wife or whatever, and held you down with secrets. But that stuff has to go, man. Run your place like a proper organization. I would say, I don't know about the whole Masai Ujiri and all that stuff, man, but Fizdale has to go because the offensive sets are stagnant. They're terrible for this team. You're messing with development of a few young players. This team is nowhere near as bad as last year in terms of on paper, and yet they're playing way worse than guys from last year, and we're tanking last year. So I would definitely look into replacing Fizdale, but also scrutinize Perry, man, because all this, I've heard things about Perry, and I've turned on Perry in terms of how I feel about him. Do I want to fight? Not necessarily so yet, but Perry has to do. I would give the power to Perry. And Perry has to bring in the proper coaches. I have to vet these guys. I'm going to use NBA resources to vet the candidates. You know what I mean? When they say when you're sick, you go to a doctor, then you go to get a second opinion, third opinion. Use guys in the NBA. Build up your cachet and say, hey, look, I know I screwed up as an owner, but I'm looking to get help. Obviously do some private, but get these guys to vet your candidates and ask them, hey, what does this guy do well? Is he an off-ball guy? Does he work well with? Does he just want stars? Does he work well with development players? Vet these guys out. Forget if it's a big name. If it's a Shaka Smart or something like that. I think he's at Texas right now. Take a chance, but make sure you properly vet these guys because look, you need somebody who's going to help develop these guys and build a proper system, proper culture. So when you bring in the questionable free agents like Julius Randle, they know where they fit in, or they got to leave, or they got to be out, or it's not going to be comfortable for them. Julius Randle right now, I'm not just picking on him, Sim, but, guy Julius Randle, he's playing like he doesn't really give two damns. Even Morris is playing like he doesn't give two damns because he knows he's going to be out. But we got to clear out some of these guys. We got to get, Morris, trade him for as many, whatever draft picks. Ellington, I don't think you're going to get much. But, I also look to move guys like Randle. Like, hey, we got to properly rebuild. We got to build this thing the right way, build it with the right structure, the right culture, right mindset, right temperament. And that's going to permeate from me all the way down to the players. And take examples from the Miami Heat. Those guys don't have superstars all the time. I don't have Jimmy Butler, but those guys are always playing hard. They have a regiment. They have things down packed. So when guys come in, they know when they fit in. So those are things I would do if I was Dolan. Dolan has to look at this like, I can't meddle in, but I got to hire the best possible guys to do the best basketball job for this team.
What was that you said about Fizdale's wife, though?
I didn't say anything about Fizdale's wife. No, I said Dolan. I said that Steve Mills, I can't hire a guy just because he might be, helping me cheat on my wife or, might be, hiding a gun from me. I'm just only joking around. But, obviously Mills and Dolan have a good relationship, but that shouldn't be a relationship. But, you guys can party off the scene, do your little whatever. Get them, whatever, chicks, whatever, do whatever. But, that shouldn't be a guy I'm doing business with. I could be an ace boom coon, but I ain't breaking business money and deals with.
I feel you, man. Well, I'm going to get out of here, man, because I got to get on the road.
Yo, be safe, man. Please be safe.
I appreciate you, man. I'm going to get up out of here. I'm going to take one last phone call, then I'm out. Caller, y'all live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, Tim, what's up? How you doing?
What's going on?
Hello?
What's up with you, my man? You there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm here. Just a quick thought. I really thought about your question, Tim.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I really thought about your question about having a possible replacement for the president of basketball operation for the Knicks. I was thinking about Stephen A. Smith. I just want to know, what do you think about Stephen A. Smith?
Stephen A. Smith?
I'm serious. I'm so serious. Stephen A. Smith. I feel like he's a diehard Knicks fan, knows his basketball. He's very close with the players when it comes to him being the media, getting all the, infiltrating all the information and everything. I really, really think Stephen A. Smith will be a good candidate for Steve Mills' replacement.
I don't know. I gotta disagree with you. I don't think Stephen A. Smith would do a good job. I think he's too emotional. I think he's a hothead. I don't know, man. You got me on that one. Hopefully this is a prank. I'm hoping this is a prank.
I'm a diehard Knicks fan.
Okay.
I'm in college. All of my buddies make fun of me for being a Knicks fan. I've been a Knicks since kid. Stephen A. Smith got the heart, he got the passion, he got the emotion. I think, for real, I was really listening to you talking. I took a shower, and then the name Stephen A. Smith popped into my head. I'm very serious.
Wow, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. First of all, James Dolan ain't hiring Stephen A. Smith. With the way he smashes the Knicks in the media, there's no way that James Dolan is hiring Stephen A. Smith.
I feel like that's more of Max Kellerman, because I feel like something Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah. Oh gosh, Stephen A. Smith. Go look at some of Stephen A. Smith's videos, man. Hey, man, I got to rock, all right, because I got to get on the road. But I appreciate the call.
All right, man. Bye.
All right, man. Peace. There is no way at all that James Dolan would consider hiring Stephen A. Smith. I'm telling you that right now. There is no way. Stephen A. Smith kills the Knicks in the media. He kills the Knicks. Ain't no way James Dolan is hiring Stephen A. Smith. I don't think Stephen A. Smith would do a good job anyway. Not at all. I don't know, man. Anyway, I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I'll catch you guys probably tomorrow night. I do a game preview, the Nuggets and all that good stuff. I'm about to get on the road. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. And, the game is over, man, so you can rest easy now. Peace.
That's the G.